I did not expect an alien named Rocky to steal the entire movie, but here we are. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Movie Buddy. I'm your host Josh Blumenkranz, and today I'm reviewing Project Hail Mary. The story follows a scientist who wakes up with no memory of what happened on his time on Earth recently, and 13 years later he's on a ship and he has to save the Earth. And what turns into a space adventure turns into something a lot more. It turns into something about like friendship, a little bit of love, and ultimately sacrifice. Let's get into like what worked with me for this movie, and that's the performances. Ryan Gosling, man, this guy carries the movie. He brings a lot of humor, but also he's like vulnerable. It makes a very science-heavy story come to life, and he's by himself for most of this movie, which is pretty astonishing. And we've seen movies like this before, like we've seen The Martian, Interstellar. I could go on, but like this movie really does something a little bit unique with it. It's like a combination of those movies. It's a combination of Interstellar, The Martian, and a little bit of E.T. But I just really dug what Ryan Gosling was bringing to the table. Like, we've never seen him in this kind of performance before. I mean, he's done the stoic performances, you know, the cool guy, but he's not like exactly the kind of hero you would expect. Like, he doesn't want to do this type of adventure. He's very skilled at what he does. He's a science teacher. He gets recruited to help them, but like, he doesn't want to do it. He's the anti-hero where he's kind of like a coward, but he has the skills to save the entire human race, pretty much. And, you know, what do? They basically, well, you'll see what happens in the movie, but let's just say it does not go well for him. But ultimately, throughout the movie, he learns that he does have the skills to like save the mission and kind of fix the human race with his science, but also with his intellect and ultimately his bravery. And which leads to the discovery of one of my favorite characters in this film, Rocky. Yes, he's like a six-legged alien spider type rock creature who at first we don't know what his deal is, but you kind of learn more about him as the story goes on. And I really liked it. I really liked this premise. It was done practically. They used several puppeteers dressed like ninjas. You know, Gosling had to act opposite this puppet essentially, and it shows the relationship very well. You see the heart, you see the connection between the two. And I'll admit, the beginning of this movie, it was a little rough for me. I just felt like the editing was like all over the place, and maybe that's just the jarring editing of him not remembering anything. And it works better once Rocky enters the picture for me, but in the beginning it was just a little all over the place. I was like sort of fighting my eyes a little bit because I was like, okay, he's been by himself a little too long now. Let's pick up the pace. And then once Rocky enters the picture, it's smooth sailing from there. But yeah, I really dug like what this relationship had to offer us. You know, I felt the friendship. You learn more about it. Like the science behind it all, it was very fascinating. How he figures out his like language, creates a language of his own, pretty much, with a laptop. And, you know, they just kind of go through it. They try to figure out how can they save their respective planets. And I love that. I love the teamwork aspect of it. Oh, my God. The science of it all is just so interesting. I really, really was fascinated. I really liked is how the movie balances science, humor, emotion. It never feels overwhelming and keeps you engaged pretty much the entire time. And at its core, the movie is really about connection and loneliness. That's what surprised me the most. It actually hits emotionally in a way I wasn't expecting. Now, what didn't work for me is the movie feels very long. I don't know. At 2 hours and 37 minutes, you feel like this movie should just kind of fly, and parts of it just dragged for me. Especially with other characters, like you have Sandra Hüller, who is like the captain of this whole operation. And I'm not going to spoil like what involves her with her scenes. It's very good, but it takes a while to get there. I just felt like the execution could have been a lot more well orchestrated. It could have just worked a little bit better for me. She's great. Like, she's a great actress. Loved her in Anatomy of a Fall. But this, I just felt like she was kind of underutilized, and I kind of wanted more from her, and I didn't really get it, unfortunately. Other than those nitpicks, though, with like supporting characters like barely being in there, I mean, it's Grace's story at the end of the day. Ryan Gosling, it's a Ryan Gosling show, him and Rocky. I just wanted, like, I'm not hating on the movie. I love the movie, surprisingly enough. I really did. It's just those little nitpicks that, for me, from this being like an Interstellar level greatness, which Interstellar for me is a 10 out of 10. And The Martian was like a 9 out of 10. I'll tell you what my grade is for this shortly. But for me, this movie, I don't know, maybe on rewatch, I'll be even higher on it. But for that first view, that's how I'm feeling walking out of the theater. Other things I liked were just Rocky's dialogue overall when he's saying, like, where is Grace question? And he's like very good at hearing him through the walls. Like this creature, this rock-like alien creature is just so innocent, learning about Grace's world, but also teaching Grace about his world. It's really cool. I just love to see like a really good alien-human connection movie. We haven't really gotten one of those in a while, honestly. I can't remember the last one, to tell you the truth. But, oh man, this is the year of alien movies, maybe. I mean, we'll see what happens with Disobedience Day? Or, no, Disclosure Day. Wow, I'm like mixing up titles. But, I don't know. We'll see. But this movie, honestly, it's the sinners of this year. It's like the really good movie that we got in March. Doesn't have a lot of competition until Super Mario Brothers 2 comes out. We'll see how that goes. I mean, it's going to do well. Who be kidding? $1 billion. But yeah, this movie's going to make money. It's already doing very well. Amazon's got a hit on their hands. I really had a great time with this. See this on the biggest screen you can. I saw it in IMAX. I'll probably see it in Dolby next, just because IMAX is like impossible right now, and it's fine. Like, I've already got my fill of IMAX with it. But if I had to give a grade on Project Hail Mary, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Had a great time once the gears got rolling, if that makes any sense. But yeah, no, this was a fun one. I really enjoyed Ryan Gosling's performance. Let's talk Oscar potential. There's a lot to say here. This is, I think, a Best Picture contender. This will get nominated. I think it'll get nominated for Ryan Gosling. I think it'll get nominated for all the tech awards that it can get. Visual effects, production design, maybe, I don't know. Editing, yes, even though it's not my favorite thing. The score, better. And then, what else? There's like so much stuff. Cinematography, hell yeah, Greg Fraser, come on. There's like a lot. There's a lot of tech categories. This is like across the board Oscar contender is what I'm going to say today. But it's looking pretty good for this movie. It's doing well. It's doing what it needs to do. And I think audiences are really enjoying it. So those are my thoughts on Project Hail Mary. Thank you so much for listening. If you like what you heard, go and hit the subscribe button on the channel. I greatly appreciate your feedback and your support. And remember, when you go to the movies, bring your buddy and talk about movies. Until next time, bye.